what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 9th. It's June. It's the year 2025, or that's what they want us to believe. We don't even have any idea what day it is for real. It's hard to tell because we're supposed to be using the sky as a clock. And for some reason, people in power, the pathetic little parasites that run this world that are referred to as the elites, decided the best method to stop climate change would be to spray the skies with heavy metals, sprinkling barium, strontium, lithium, and whatever else on top of all of us. So we have no idea what's going on. We can't even see the stars anymore. So it is what it is. At any rate, let's get into the chat real quick because I've been watching you guys as I was getting this going. So let's see if we can do this. Sky Viking, what is up? Lori Avarista, I believe. Giuseppe, I can't say that. Ficaloris, whatever. What's up, brother or sister or whatever? Everybody should digress at some point. Kelly Cutting, what's up? Indeed, Michael Paul. And as soon as I go to click on somebody, it turns into somebody else. The chat is rolling. Wyatt, I am rolling. What is up, Eric? French 6290. What's up? Lois, I'm sorry. Lois, I can't say your last name. Lois V. It is crazy. Tess C. What is up? Same. I appreciate you guys too. There's my guy right there. I love that name. Phenomenal. A lunatic. What's up? Oh, bare feet. That's gross. At any rate. Good day. No more lies. It's a good name, but it's just not going to happen as far as that. You see what I'm saying? Just a girl. What is up? As they record everything we say, indeed. Candy, that was my ex-wife's name. Anna. This is Anna. I can't say your last name. Malgrazada. Anna Malgrazada. Right? Is that right? Should be. Anna runs the Richie from Boston fan page. That's not my page. That's her page. And it's getting pretty big. It's getting some traction, which is really nice. She held it down while I was on my 5-year vacation from YouTube, but July 4th could absolutely get wild. I hope it doesn't. But here's the thing. Trump did not have to have ICE scoop up people in such a dramatic way. This is all Hegelian dialectic, problem, reaction, solution 101. Trump is here to do what he didn't finish the first time around for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? 45, 47th president, 45, 4 plus 5 equals 9, 4 plus 7 equals 11. What a strange, unusual coincidence. The hat that he wears all the time that says MAGA also says 9/11. So there, as they say, is that. What is up, Eric? I don't know how to say that. Eric Yort, is that right? I don't know. I try. It is what it is. J Tig, what's up, brother? How are you, man? We do a couple more. Fardado, what's up? It's funny because when people watch this after it's live, why do you do all that? Why do you care? I would never comment unless it was relevant. You see what I'm saying? Unless I'm yelling at somebody in the comments on their own video, but we'll get to that later too, because apparently I made several people very unhappy. Rusty Shackelford, what's up, brother? You and I both watch Beige Frequency. I was subscribed to him for years. I know that you're one of his Patreons, which is very cool, until he decided to go after Bigfoot, and I think he went after chemtrails. He should just stick to sports because he lost me right there and then. He just lost me. So it is what it is, but whatever. Past 53, what's up? Formerly from Dracut, Massachusetts. I don't think I've ever been to Dracut, but whatever. Wake up, Johnson. Joseph, my bad. At least I didn't say something really strange, but whatever. I'm a legend in Australia. Cool. It's a funny thing. Doing what I do for as long as I have, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 channels back that I'm trying to keep content on, because you got to take advantage of the platform while you can. None of them are monetized. None of them have ever been monetized. And what gets me about certain channels that are coming up that are fancying themselves truth channels is they self-censor. They won't even say the word New World Order. You got to understand, a lot of people are on it. A lot of people that follow you, a lot of people in the chat, a lot of people in the comments follow you, understand things. But there's a lot of people that don't understand things even when you're explaining it whatsoever at all. For instance, let me bring this up real quick. All right, I have to do a screen share, so that's going to take a minute. Yeah, that's see that right there? That's bad form. That's bad form. Just saying that. At any rate, all right, let's do a screen share here if I can, if it's possible. Here we go. You see this video? I spent days making this video on the Shroud of Turin. Days and days and days making this video. Now, if I was an idiot or a hypocrite, I'd use AI, but don't use AI no matter what. Somebody in my position that has RFB2, RFB3, RFB, Richie from Boston 222, the banned one, Jailbreak Overlander. I could make my life so much easier and I could make a stack of money if I used AI, but I don't. I still do it the old-fashioned way because it is what it is. I'm not going to tell AI to make me a 40-minute video on Shroud of Turin, give it a couple of talking points, and have it whip it up like that, because it will. It can. I did this myself. And right off the bat, the comments, oh, so Richie, now you believe the science? I'm going to try not to use derogatory words, but things like retarded, things like that pop into my head because I got a mouth on me. It doesn't go away. I'm the worst Christian ever. I told you that a long time ago. And I still am. You know what I mean? But at any rate, mainstream finally coming around. We were told in the Bible that all truth will come out in the end. I find it really odd that suddenly they're recognizing Noah's Ark. Suddenly they're recognizing the Shroud of Turin, but I didn't need them to recognize the Shroud of Turin. When I went and did security for Anthony Patch in Tennessee at that big meetup that he did, the conference that he did, I went there just to watch his back. I went there just to watch his back. I only had like 16,000 subscribers at the time, blah, blah, blah. And I ran into one of the guys that actually filmed. He was allowed at the Vatican to film the Shroud of Turin. And here's the number one answer. People are like, now you trust the science? No, I don't trust the science. I've always known the Shroud of Turin was real because since they found it, the Vatican, the church, science, politicians, elites have all been debunking it, even though people have spent their entire lives trying to prove that this thing is 100% real. Well, it's a graven image. Actually, it's not. God said, don't make any graven images. Jesus Christ made this image. Jesus Christ did something that's never been done before, and this is actual proof of it. And the reason I made this video is for people that just are lukewarm or they're on the fence. They can watch this and understand that not only did Jesus come and live as a man, prophesize his own death, and die as a man, but he also came back 3 days later. And you know what? He actually left a picture of it, a picture of himself. And that's exactly what it is, because it's not a painting. Do you see what I'm saying? It isn't the devil. Oh, it's the mark. It's the image of the beast. No, it's a picture of Jesus coming out of his burial shroud. Well, there was 2 pieces of linen. Yep. And I covered both of them, the Shroud of Turin and the other thing whose name escapes me, but it's in this video. This is the best, most important video I ever did, and it's got 4,000 views. Perfect. Beautiful. Lovely. That's what you get. The harder you work. This thing was literally dropped upon my heart. I've never said that about anything ever before, but that video came to me like, you got to do this video. And I'm like, that's not my cup of tea. I don't do documentaries. I can't. Well, guess what? I did it. And all the links are right there. And You know what? We'll get to him later. We'll get to him later because I got to call somebody out straight to his face. There's not going to be any innuendo. I'm not going to be leaving any more comments. I'm going to call somebody out straight to their face. So we'll get to that. Let's get to that down the road, but let's get to this. Okay. The Shroud of Turin video is up on Richie from Boston 222 or whatever it is. It's a long, here. How about that? It's right here. Best video I ever did. I was literally inspired to do that. And the music in the background is Mozart. So the music isn't going to mess with your head or you mess with your frequency. It's actually the frequency that music was supposed to be made at. But on that, I will digress. Check this out. Isn't this a weird thing? This is where I live. Watch this. So in case they're not rioting, Americans have been told to stay indoors in 3 states: Maine, New Hampshire, and Ohio, because the air quality is just too bad. They're worried about you guys. They don't want you breathing in bad air because look at the skies. That's what the skies look like where I'm at. Same thing. Because the fires in Canada, the fires. Do you understand the ridiculousness of having winter, spring show up, and then we've got wildfires at the wettest time of the year? The wettest time of the year. You know, it's insane, but it's beautiful for them because stay indoors. No, I'm not going to do anything you say. I'm not going to do anything. I didn't do anything you said. You told us to lock in, and I just drove across the country and met, what was it, a year and a half? Met over 100,000 people face to face. And guess what? Every one of those people that I met face to face didn't do any of the protocols for the last pandemic. And they're all still good to this day. You know, I had a runny nose this morning. I had a runny nose and I was like, oh man, come on. And then I realized that this was going on. So I should have heeded their warning and stayed inside. Because I mean, there's smoke outside. You can't go outside. Smoke will kill you. No, it won't. No, it won't. I do campfires all the time. It's all good. Nothing to see here, folks. Keep it moving. Blah, blah, blah. At any rate. One person I wish you and Anna, I wish you guys lived in the United States. At any rate, it is what it is. But yeah, it's freezing in Massachusetts right now. Well, I think that's all by design because June should be super hot. It was burning hot the other day, but the temperature only said 76 degrees, but you couldn't stand outside because whatever it is up there in the sky, whether it's the chemtrails magnifying it, whether it's the sun simulator that I've got the patents for from 1969, Bausch and Lomb and NASA making a patented sun. How would they, if it's a fake sun in the sky, how would they keep it up there? I mentioned this before. The sun in the sky isn't going anywhere. God put that there. It's the larger light to rule the day. He puts a lesser light to rule the night. You ain't messing with it. You ain't getting it out of here. But you could put a satellite type thing in the sky and have it tracking at the same time, which would explain why people see 2 suns every once in a while, more and more so lately. How would they keep it up there? A thing called the ether, something that Nikola Tesla talked about all the time, so much so that they had to get this guy named Einstein out of the post office because that's where he worked, put him in front of everybody and say, see this guy Einstein, smartest guy ever. Explain everything. E equals MC squared. OMG. E equals MC squared. Now we know everything. So there is no ether. I think the ether is like a fluid. It's not a fluid. It's not one of the 4 elements. It's not air, water, fire, or plasma. Am I saying that right? Whatever. It's late and I don't care. The ether is something we don't know about. I think it's something that these elites know all about because they know about everything that we don't know about. We don't even know what day it is, literally. But the ether could allow them to put an artificial sun in front of the real sun, which is why when you go outside, you can't bear standing in front of the sun. It's killing everything that's alive, including us. And it's beyond a plasma 24 baby. It's beyond a plasma. It's just something we don't understand. I think it's something that rolls right between the waters above and our atmosphere, and they can use it to do all sorts of stuff. And we're going to see that soon. Hold up. Hold up. Oh, absolutely. Solid, fluid, gas, also ether. All right, cool. And Jeremy Potter, you're absolutely, without a doubt. Artificial intelligence offers itself you try to check your email. You don't have to check your email because AI reads it for you and tells you, it gives you a synopsis, it gives you a summary of your email. How much of a in your face is it from them? Oh, we're reading every one of your emails. We're not even going to hide it anymore. As a matter of fact, we'll read it for you. Anytime you go look for something, do you want AI to? No, I don't. It's being offered up as helpful right now, but it's going to be overly intrusive soon because I'm positive that AI started controlling the weather the first of this year. I say that because it's already the 6th of the year. We're already halfway through 2025. If you recall, 2025 just started like a month ago, and yet we're already halfway through the year. Do you remember every single solitary thing that happened? Everything upped exponentially, unbelievably so in 2025 because AI went live. And now I just saw this. I don't have it pulled up and I'm not going to mess with it. But Elon did bulk up with Trump. No doubt. You're on it. I don't know what that means. The days will be shortened. I mean, dude, everything will be revealed. Suddenly they're talking about the Noah's Ark has been discovered. The country of Turkey came out years ago and said, hey, guys, we're officially telling you Noah's Ark is right there. Right there. Exactly where Ron Wyatt said it was. Exactly where he said it was. There's Noah's Ark. And all of a sudden now they're talking about the Shroud of Turin is real now. I already knew it was. You know what I mean? You believe the science? What part of science, church, and everybody hiding the truth for almost 2,000 years are you missing? Are you missing? You know what I'm saying? But at any rate, it's, whatever. I'll tell you one thing that's funny. I was talking to my buddy Miguel, the author of Confusion in Christianity and Confusion in the Cosmos. And I've seen the comments. You guys are awesome. Do him a solid and go to BookBaby and leave a review for him. It's amazing. Seeing people reading the book and leaving comments in my videos explaining how amazing it was. I told you I wouldn't. When have I ever talked about a book or pushed anything that wasn't phenomenal? That book was amazing. It's absolutely amazing because when you start reading it, you have to crack the King James just because you're like, this isn't real. It can't possibly be in the Bible. And then boom, there it is. It does two things. It wakes people up to the biblical cosmology of this earth because understand why do you talk about flat earth? I don't talk about flat earth. We're going to call it biblical cosmology. And it's all right in your own King James Bible, whether you want to read it or not. But if you understand the real biblical cosmology of the earth, you're taking away 50% of their power. 50% of the elite's bull nonsense is based on outer space, aliens, NASA, rockets. We're going to the moon. Meteors are coming, asteroids. Dude, I've been around almost 60 years, 57 years old. I've never seen an asteroid or a meteor hit the earth. You see what I'm saying? Once in a while, we've seen a piece of the firmament or blue ice that's literally made up of 99.9% oxygen, which makes no sense. We've seen those fall, and they always fall in the desert. Blue ice that falls from the sky in the desert that when tested is 99.9% oxygen, that's God's work. We can't do that. Try to Google that. Try to find that because it's next to impossible. I did a video on it years ago and now you can't find it, which is really sad. But what was the book again? Are you are you messing with me? Absolutely. Absolutely. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. Hey, that's my name too. You see that? I'm still here. I'm tired. It's been a long day. And for some reason, the longer I talk, suddenly my nose gets stuffed up. I don't know what that means, but it's been happening for a long time. Confusion in Christianity, confusion in the cosmos. And I'm actually in the book Confusion in the Cosmos I discovered. So it's kind of cool. But at any rate, let's get to what we started with here. Hopefully I stayed on track. Sometimes I don't. It is what it is. You try doing this. I don't use a script. This right now is Los Angeles. And the cops are giving up because people like this are taking out the cops. Yeah. Well, let me say something. And I think I started to say it. I probably didn't finish it, but Trump saying he was going to get rid of them all. Well, they had to get them all in here first. So the administration before him flooded the country, flew them in. As you might remember, I went to the Texas-Mexican border and I crossed the border on foot on a mountain bike with infrared and watched the entire thing happen in real time because they said that the Border Patrol and the National Guard were in a standoff. None of that was true whatsoever at all. And Trump telling ICE to roll up on people and jump out of the car like undercover narcotics officers have been doing to people in places like Baltimore, LA, Compton for years, and snatching people up and taking off. That's not the way to do it. You know what I mean? When people see a car pull up, grab somebody, and then just drive off, it's crazy. It's crazy. So this is what the reaction is going to be here. But this is all by design. This is all by design. And why do I say that? Well, stand by. Stand by. Why is it all by design? Because, yeah, they've got Craigslist ads. I didn't even know Craigslist was still around. Craigslist ad for LA riots and nokings.org funding. Yeah, believe it or not. Oh, flag for removal. But believe it or not, yeah, same as it always was, same as it ever was. Here's the fun thing. We have got, I hate even saying this word. We've got Democrats. Okay. Now listen, let me reiterate. Let me get this out here real quick. The left, the right, they're not even the same bird. They're actors. Donald Trump literally is an actor. You're fired. Elon Musk is also an actor. Elon Musk breaking up with Donald Trump and telling everybody what I was telling everybody since Trump was around last time. Trump is on, they're never going to release Epstein's list because Trump's on it. I mean, I've got more pictures of Donald Trump with Epstein than I do of me and my ex-wife. That's crazy. Sorry, Cand, if you're watching, but it is what it is. I lost everything when I got locked up. You know that. But at any rate, I literally have more pictures of Trump and Epstein together, all sorts of different ways, covered with women, talking about young women. Of course he's on the list. They're all on the list. They're never going to release the Epstein files. And I told you before they did, it was going to be nothing but redacted. And boy, was it redacted. It was just like reading a black page with a white outline. You know what I'm saying? Trump and Elon breaking up publicly is part of the program. So now we've got Mexicans against law enforcement, burning things, knocking things over, breaking stuff, etc. So there's division that will spread city to city, town to town, because Democrats, not that they're any different, are telling their constituents, we need to do this. Maxine Waters went to the ICE station with a bunch of people behind her. They're encouraging it. This is going to be BLM round 2, period, just like during COVID. Everyone's going to lock in and wear a mask, unless, of course, you're Black Lives Matter and you're protesting. Don't you find it funny that George Floyd's monument got struck by lightning and destroyed? I can see, all I can see is blurry right now, but I'm trying to prove a point. George Floyd's monument got struck by lightning and destroyed. George Floyd was a criminal. It is what it is. They killed him in a really drawn out manner because they were trying to get a reaction. Everything they do. Do you think that suddenly cops just started shooting people straight up no matter what? Hey, that woman's got a cup of hot water. Shoot her in the head while they're recording themselves doing it. Somebody said, "Go ahead and do it. We're gonna cover your back here. Plus, you're gonna hire guys that come home from war. They've been in other countries kicking down doors over and over again when they come home and become police officers because going from the military to law enforcement is a natural progression. They're going to consider everybody war. You see what I mean? Everybody's the enemy because it's the war on drugs. It's the war on immigration. It's the war on America. You know, people like, Rich, you should get out of the United States. What part of the new world order? It doesn't say the new American order. It says the new world order. We're the great American experiment. The experiment is done. They turned us in from a bunch of dudes living in the woods. They tried to come take us out, and we started using guerrilla warfare, and we took them out. We took out Britain. Boom, see you later. Built a country. They wrote the Constitution a specific way, so it never actually really did apply to us. FYI, that just in. And now it's over. And they're literally turning us into pornography-loving, drug-taking, alcoholic, I mean, it's just ridiculous. People are taking this drug called Ozempic or Ozempo, whatever it is. I want to lose weight. Well, exercise. Nah, I'll just take a pill. Well, what is in that pill? It's the venom of a Gila monster. That's what makes you lose weight. What could possibly go wrong, dude? The venom from a Gila monster. A Gila monster is a black and yellow. You'd think I'd pull it up, but I'm not going to because I'll kill the live stream or something. Look it up yourself. The venom of a Gila monster. You take that pill and it makes you lose weight. Terrific. What could go wrong? Everybody's doing it. It's great. My neighbor was doing it. He was a big strapping guy, big bald-headed guy, big happy jolly guy. Now he looks like a crackhead with a big head because his head didn't shrink, but whatever. They were having fun with America. Let's turn everybody into transgenders. Let's stop teaching children how to be successful human beings at school, and instead, we'll teach them that behind their parents' backs, we can turn them into a different sex because at 5 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, the most important thing a child could learn is, are you sure you're a little boy? Are you sure? 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 We'll shame you. Your government is supposed to protect you from that. Your government's supposed to protect you from the bank. Your balance is $50,000 a month. That's your balance, okay? 14 cents interest they give you a month. That's a crime. The government should protect you from that. The government should make sure that if you live in a place like California, there's water in your water hydrants, but they don't. The government doesn't do anything except start wars, steal everything of value from you, your family, any relatives that you may have been left it to. Everything that we used to make in this country, they took all of it and they sent it elsewhere. And now we're pretty much screwed here. So this all has to happen. But they sure did have fun with it on the way out. You know what I mean? They really did. And the coup d'etat is going to be exactly what they said in Leave the World Behind. A movie that looked like it was a movie made by Richie from Boston, if I had the budget. It showed every conspiracy theory in action. Every conspiracy theory and what it would look like if you put it into action. That movie was made by an ex-president and his husband. Because, yeah, apparently that's coming out too, that just like we told you a million times, Obama wasn't, he's Muslim. I don't care if he's Muslim. I don't care. I'm Christian. They follow the wrong religion. It is what it is. It is what it is. Really look it up and understand it, or don't, whatever. I didn't care about that. What I cared about was the fact that he was the first gay president, just like they showed us on the cover of Newsweek. Obama with a rainbow. And ever since Obama, the entire world, he was going to fundamentally change America, and he did. And he did. And he was married to a dude, Michael Lavelle Robinson. I still got his Hair Club for Men ID. There ain't no fun. There was no AI back then, okay? It's insane. It's utterly insane how big they went on us and how many people fell for it. It's just unbelievable. But we're at the end of the rope. And here's the deal. The coup d'etat, like they showed us in Leave the World Behind, is going to be sitting back and watching us kill each other because they're going to put us in a position where we're going to still fight each other. And the people that actually know what's up are going to be the bad guys. We always have been the bad guys. I did not improve my life. I did not improve my finances. I didn't improve my reputation. I didn't improve my love life. I didn't improve my friend circles by doing what I do. But I've never stopped. I've never faltered. I've been wrong plenty of times, but I've been right way too many times. Do you see what I'm saying? Period. I mean, how many people had to literally, how many people did CERN have to publicly address, not once, not twice, but thrice in the news over their mock ritual where they killed a woman out front or didn't. It didn't matter. The fact that if it was real or a mock ritual stabbing a woman in front of the statue of Shiva in CERN's facility at 3 a.m, yeah, that's a problem. They had to answer for that. How many times have I been on the news? This guy thinks the moon's only 4 miles away. Well, what I said in that video is, how come I can zoom in on the moon better than I can zoom in on the Prudential Center, which is 5 miles as the crow flies from where I live? You know what I mean? It hasn't improved my life. It's made me a laughing stock, but I don't care. It is what it is. I know that I'm right on many, many things, and it is what it is. And I will never self-censor. That blows me away how many people literally call themselves truthers, but they're worried about keeping their monetization. If you're monetized, you ain't telling the truth. Period. 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 Or you're self-censoring. I haven't had to self-censor one single time since I got my channels back because they don't care. They gave me my channel back. They gave Face Like the Sun his channels back. They gave Corvette Report his channels back. You know why? It's not so they can data mine. They already know every single solitary thing about us right now. It's because they want to watch. They want to watch us tell you exactly what's coming and how it's going to play out. And they're going to watch the majority of people ignore us and laugh at us when we're telling them the truth because they get off on this stuff. These guys are masochists. They rape children. They murder and rape children. They drink the adrenaline out of a child that they extract right before they completely end their lives after terrifying them. Androchrome. They actually made a movie about it. We've been telling you about that for years, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. At any rate, I can barely breathe. Yeah, George Soros. I don't even talk about him anymore because he's the fall guy at this point, man. They're all in it. Just like they told us during COVID, they're all in this together. So it is what it is. Give me a second. Nasal spray because I can't breathe. It's a weird thing. I'm so fancy. I'm always worried about the lighting and everything else. I took the butler down because too many people were freaking out. The woman that gave me that's name was Peabody's mom. And within a week of giving that to me, she died. And that bums me out. And I put that up there because it was kind of like it was in reverence to her. Do you see what I'm saying? And too many people I had somebody literally email me, Richie, and I'm dead serious. And from what their signature said, they worked as a professional that people go to when they have problems. Richie, there's a man standing behind you with sunglasses on and white gloves wearing a suit. And I'm like, are you shitting me? Like, it was a real email. I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. This is crazy. It's a cardboard cutout. You can see it. Well, you can't see it now because I took it down because I sleep right there. So every time I open the door in the morning, it freaks me out. Every time I walk in my kitchen, it freaks me out because there's a dude I see him out of the corner of my eye. So it freaks me out. But the woman's name was Peabody's mom, and she was awesome. And you know what? She might have went young, but at least she's not going to have to live through this, because this is going to get ugly. And the worst part about this is the people you want to protect the most won't listen to you. They won't believe you. This will be the Matrix. They will fight to hold the Matrix up when you're trying to tell them to take the red pill. You know what I'm saying? It's insane to me, man. It's insane to me. But it is what it is. Let me show you something else. I think I saved it. Let me see if I can show this to you. Oh, stand by. Okay. Elon putting Trump on blast, breaking up with Elon, that's simply and only to divide the fan base. So now they want to divide the MAGA folks. Do you see what I mean? Do you see that little one? That was an easy one. In a real world, if Elon was really the most wealthy man on earth, he could deal with Trump without putting Trump on blast like that, because that's not going to help him any way. You know what I mean? Trump's on Epstein's list. Well, Elon, you were opening portals when you were a little kid. Plus, you were a bald, weird freak that has sex with anybody that comes along. You're like, dude, it's to divide and conquer the fan base. They're going to get us fighting on every single solitary level, and it's begun. It's on. Remember? Civil War 2024? Well, apparently we're a year late or whatever, or maybe we're still in 2024. We don't even know, dude. I swear it was a month ago the year started, and somehow it's already halfway through the year. Are you guys feeling that too? Because that's all I hear from you, and I'm with you. You wake up, and 10 minutes later, it's like, wow, it's the end of the day. This is crazy. It just keeps flying by, man. It's freaking me out. So I don't know, man. I don't know. No, exactly. And everyone's like, heck yeah, send in the Marines. No, don't send in the Marines. You send in the Marines, everyone for themselves. The Marines are not police, but neither are our police force. A bunch of weird, wacky looking people wearing safety helmets are literally taking out LA. I mean, are you kidding me? That really? I would imagine that this person wears a helmet all the time anyways, and they just put the goggles on for the riot. I mean, who goes to riot with a safe? They look like they're going to a construction site to break up. You know, I mean, are you kidding me? This is what's taking out the police. Just can't handle it. There's nothing that can be done. We're dying over here. We need the Marines. Do not send in the Marines. If they send in the Marines, I am telling you, it has begun in earnest, and it'll never stop. It'll never, ever stop. You like that one, Ghost Rider? I thought so. Cool. Exactly. Oh, remember that? Somebody just said it looks like Pat from SNL. Remember back in the old days when people would joke about a woman that kind of looked like a man, or a man that kind of looked like a woman? Hey, who's that? It's Pat. Well, now they're teaching it to children in schools, and it's all good. And somebody postulated this the other day. You like that word? Sometimes I come up with fancy words. I got a book full of fancy words. No, I don't. I'm just kidding. Somebody postulated the other day. I already forgot what I was going to say. That sucks. I can't think of it. I don't know. At any rate. Oh, somebody postulated the other day, if you have a problem with drag queens going to schools, teaching, reading to small children. I don't know how old a child that big is, but that's little, right? That's a little kid. Am I right? Like 5 or 6. Imagine if it was a bunch of female strippers reading to the children. OMG, they'd burn it down. But as long as it's a man dressed up like a female stripper, what are you racist? What's wrong with you, dude? You racist? Yeah, that was it. So whoever said that, yeah, they are freaks. They're absolutely freaks. John Hopkins put it right out there. People that think they can cut their parts off and have other parts glued on aren't changing their sex. There's no such thing as gender. Gender is a made-up word. It's like outer space. There's sex, male, female, period. Anybody that does that, they're not changing anything. They simply have a mental disorder. That was in 1997. I put that out there and I warned people 13 years ago. I said, they're going to try to normalize this, but I never, ever even imagined it would come to this, man. Not even close, not even a little bit. And yet here we are. So now everybody has to engage. So this person has a mental disorder. So everybody in the room has to pretend and indulge their mental disability, which in turn gives you a mental disability. You see what I'm saying? I ain't going out like that. And the funniest thing is if you recall years ago, I said, they're just waiting for us to die. Do you remember when Bundy Ranch went down? And I was dumb at the time. And I said, I'm going. I've got my Jeep. Who needs a ride? And I put that out there live. Remember that? Remember that? Yeah. I said, they're going to wait for dudes like us to get old and die. And then they're going to do this. Well, here we are. You know what I mean? I still got a lot of gas left in the tank, though. Not literally, figuratively. Literally, figuratively. Yeah, I can still throw down. It's not a problem whatsoever at all. So Alex Jones explains, Alex Jones is a Central Intelligence operative. So quoting him doesn't look good in this particular chat, T-Money. Alex Jones, out of his own mouth. My father was in the Central Intelligence Agency. Alex Jones showed up out of nowhere and suddenly was everywhere. And he was the authority. Whenever they wanted to talk about one of those conspiracy idiots that can't figure out how 2 airplanes took down 3 buildings. I mean, 2 airplanes, 3 buildings. Alex Jones will explain it. They're turning the frogs gay. Well, he wasn't lying. His job, literally, he's got his own Illuminati card called Agent in the Place. Good call, Rethink Inc. Atrazine is in the water. So kids coming up right now, not only are they being taught at school and peer pressured, every single solitary movie, video game, music, everything is, if you're not gay, if you're not the opposite sex of what you really are, something's wrong with you. They've also got atrazine in the water, which literally was proven. The company that made atrazine, which is, I believe, is Monsanto, hired a private scientist to test the water and see if anything was wrong with it. And he came back and he said, your product is literally turning amphibians from male to female that can literally give birth, something that has never happened before. And what did they do? They hired him to get the answers. He gives them the answer and they discredit him. They drag him through the mud. And Alex Jones' job was to be the first one to break the story and say it in a comical, ridiculous way, which he did. They're going to turn the frogs gay. It turned into an awesome meme. I've used it. It's hilarious. But his job is to take important things, make them look silly, and then whenever you talk about it, people think of the meme. That was his job. That's what he does. Period. You know? No, they sued him for billions of dollars. Isn't he still cranking out videos someplace? I mean, apparently somebody just quoted him or whatever. I have a bone to pick with somebody. I'm going to explain myself, which I shouldn't have to, but I'm going to. You see this dude? You see this channel right here? I came along this channel on my own while I was on the road, okay? And I was listening to him, and I'm like, wow, this dude, I hate the name of his channel. It's horrible. And I thought he sounded funny when he talked, which he does. But he was hitting on some good points. And every once in a while, I'd use parts of his video, and I'd leave a link like you're supposed to, but most people don't. And after a while, I actually recommended this dude on my channel. You probably heard of it. But I kept leaving comments. 25 separate times I left a comment saying, dude, do me a solid. Send me an email, and I leave my email address in his comments, which opened me up for all sorts of people I didn't know emailing me. And apparently he's got a problem with me calling people out. Well, hey, believe it or not, some of us aren't doing this for money. We're doing this for country. We were trying to save people, which is why everything I said at the beginning about you lose your friends, you lose your credibility, everyone laughs at you, blah, blah, blah. Didn't do it for money, because there is no money to be made. Unless, of course, like Minutes of Horror, you're using, these are 3 different videos, but you wouldn't know. That's called working the algorithm. You see what I mean? And then he's one of those guys that self-censors. So apparently he had a problem with me calling him out, but not by name. Well, I'm going to call him out now by name. Minutes of Horror, dude that doesn't show his face, dude that is doing this for the money. Because first, his channel started out as Minutes of Airplanes, and that genre didn't get him what he wanted. So then he moved on to another one, and now he decided to move on to Half Truth. And that's what he does. He does half truths. And I have a problem with that, because we're at endgame right now. So talking about topics like I'm talking about, and then talking about, dumb stuff, haunted houses or whatever, and never once understanding, if you're going to play in our water, there's rules. You're not awake. Okay. So if you've got an issue with me, email me. I've given it to you over 20 times, but you want to go at me in my comments, dude? I talk about channels that are telling people everyone's getting sick because they release something in the air. You cannot get sick unless they inject it in you or your body gets sick. I have a problem with that. When COVID happened, I had 13 different practicing medical doctors that all explained ad nauseum they can't spray it on you. It doesn't work like that. Yet you've got truth channels that people are following, telling them the fog is going to make you sick. And people telling you over and over again that something outside your house that's out there anyway is going to make you sick. You listen to it enough, and if you're weak-willed enough, maybe you will get sick. You know what I'm saying? They have to inject it or use frequencies, but apparently the frequencies aren't doing it quite enough. I mean, they got us up to tinnitus, but the frequencies for the people that already got the vaccines, why do you think they mandated vaccines? If they could make you sick without giving you a jab, why wouldn't they? Because they can't. If they had nuclear weapons, we would have seen one go off by now. Period. But they don't. These are all things that they use, like outer space and meteors. So Minutes of Horror, I've given you every opportunity in the world to email me, but you want to go at me in the comments? Well, I just blocked you. It's easy. It's easy enough. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to pretend you're some sort of a truther, then stick with the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But you don't. You see what I mean? You don't. And then you self-censor, which is just pathetic and weak. And all your little videos right there, I mean, it's pretty... You see a pattern here? You see a pattern? Yeah. If you're going to do it the whole way. Once you find out that this is good and evil and that there is actually a God that they're trying to hide really bad, well, then you're on the right path. If you had ever emailed me starting a year ago, I would have told you that. We could have avoided all this. But apparently the only way to get a hold of him or get a message to him was through a Cash App. Do you see what I'm saying? So there, as they say, is that. Isn't that strange timing, huh? Look at that. I'm shocked that he's in the comments. Shocked. So there's that. At any rate, so let me get rid of this. One more time, this is not going to stop. It's going to spread. And like I said, all these people that are considered Democrats, even though they're the same bird, they're all the same agenda. This is going to spread because they're going to allow it to. They could handle this situation in LA, but they can't. They can't because it's not part of the plan. They're destroying police cars. I mean, if you had myself and a bunch of dudes like me in 5 Chevy Suburbans, we could handle all those people, period. Period. But that's not the plan. We need to send in the Marines because the National Guard's not good enough. We need to send in the Marines. You don't want the Marines on the ground. You just don't. Okay? They never should have sent us to any other country to police anybody because it completely broke everything. You know what I'm saying? I agree. Escape from LA. Escape from LA. What are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? My social blade? What does that mean? Well, I don't know what that means. Every one of my channels has been demonetized for 12 years. So you show me some numbers, jerk off. And as a matter of fact, if you've got something to say, email me like I've been trying to get you to do for a year. rjcjr10@yahoo.com. And if that doesn't work, I'll just come to Florida and I'll say it to your face, kid. All right? You're keep running your mouth, dude. Keep running your mouth. My social blade. I don't even know what that means, but I have a good idea, I think. At any rate, I'm going to shut this down because I'm going to say something that's going to get me in trouble, I'm sure. But understand, this isn't going to end. You know what I mean? This isn't going to stop. This is just the beginning. So, what are you, a little girl, dude? All right. You know what? All right. Cool. I'm going to show you something that's going to. Oh, all right. Richie from Boston. How long have I been gone? An hour? Cool. I got to make a call. I'm not. I just would really like to, what is it? Okay. So what is, I don't understand what that means. 100% demonetized. No. I'm going to deal with him. That's what he wants. That's what he'll get. At any rate, guys, Richie from Boston, and I am out.